In December of 1975, the Lutz family believed they had found the perfect home. It was a large Dutch colonial house in the quiet town of Amityville, New York. The price seemed almost too good to be true, and there was a reason for that. Just 1 year earlier, 6 members of the DeFeo family had been murdered inside the house while they slept. Despite knowing its horrifying past, George and Kathy Lutz convinced themselves that a tragic history didn't mean the house was cursed. They moved in with their 3 children, hoping to start a new chapter of their lives. But according to the family, that new beginning quickly turned into a nightmare. Only days after settling in, strange events began to unfold. George claimed he woke up every single morning at exactly 3:15 a.m., the same time investigators believed the DeFeo murders had taken place. He couldn't explain why. No matter how exhausted he was, his eyes would suddenly open at that exact minute. At night, the family heard footsteps echoing through empty hallways, doors opening and closing on their own, and loud banging noises coming from rooms where no one was standing. They also described icy cold spots that appeared without warning. Even though the heating system was working normally, then things became even more disturbing. Kathy reported seeing mysterious green slime dripping from walls and keyholes. Their youngest daughter insisted she had a new friend named Jody, a strange creature with glowing red eyes that she claimed watched her through the bedroom window. George's personality also began to change. He became distant, angry, and obsessed with keeping the fireplace burning, even when the house was already warm. He later said he constantly felt as if an unseen presence was watching every move he made. As the fear grew, the family asked a Catholic priest to bless the house. According to the priest, the moment he entered one of the upstairs rooms, a deep voice suddenly shouted, "Get out!" He claimed he left the house feeling violently ill and warned the family not to use that room again. Less than a month after moving in, the Lutz family fled the house in the middle of the night, leaving behind furniture, clothes, and many of their personal belongings. They had lived there for only 28 days. Their story soon spread around the world, inspiring best-selling books and blockbuster horror movies. Yet the Amityville House remains one of the most controversial paranormal cases ever recorded. Some believe the family experienced something beyond explanation, while others argue the entire haunting was fabricated. Nearly 50 years later, one question still remains unanswered. What really happened inside the Amityville House? For decades, one abandoned building in England carried a terrifying reputation. It was called Borley Rectory, a large Victorian house that many believed was the most haunted place in the country. Long before paranormal investigators arrived, local residents claimed they often saw the ghost of a nun silently walking across the gardens at sunset, before disappearing into thin air. No one could explain who she was or why she kept returning. When new families moved into the rectory, the strange events only became more unsettling. They reported hearing heavy footsteps echoing through empty hallways, even when no one else was inside the building. Bells rang by themselves in the middle of the night. Doors opened without warning, and objects were found in different places after being carefully put away. Some residents even claimed they heard whispers coming from empty rooms. The most disturbing reports came in the 1930s, when mysterious messages allegedly appeared on the walls, begging for help. Witnesses said the words seemed to appear without anyone touching the surface. As news of the house spread across Britain, paranormal investigator Harry Price visited the property and documented many of the strange claims, making Borley Rectory famous around the world. Then in 1939, a massive fire destroyed much of the building. Although the rectory was later demolished, the stories never disappeared. Visitors continued to report seeing unexplained lights and the ghostly figure of the nun wandering near the ruins. To this day, skeptics argue that many of the events were exaggerated or even staged, while believers insist Borley Rectory was genuinely haunted. Whatever the truth may be, its chilling legend has survived for nearly a century, making it one of the world's most famous haunted locations. In the quiet town of Atchison, Kansas, stands an ordinary-looking house with an extraordinary reputation. Known as the Sallie House, it has become one of America's most famous haunted homes. The legend began with a story about a young girl named Sallie, who was said to have died after undergoing a painful emergency operation many years ago. Although historians have never found conclusive evidence that the story is true, many believe her spirit never left the house. In the early 1990s, a young couple named Tony and Deborah Pickman moved into the home, expecting a peaceful life. Instead, they claimed they experienced a series of terrifying events almost immediately. They heard footsteps when no one else was inside, doors slammed shut on their own, and lights turned on and off without explanation. Objects reportedly moved across rooms, and strange shadows appeared in the corners of the house. The most disturbing incidents involved Tony. He claimed to wake up with deep scratches on his body that seemed to appear overnight. The couple also reported seeing children's toys move by themselves and hearing the laughter of a little girl echoing through empty rooms. As paranormal investigators visited the house, some claimed to record unexplained voices and unusual activity, making the Sallie House famous on television and across the internet. Yet no investigation has ever produced evidence that convinced the scientific community. Today, the Sallie House continues to attract curious visitors from around the world. Some leave believing they witnessed something impossible, while others see only an old house surrounded by powerful stories. Whether it is truly haunted or simply the product of fear and imagination, the mystery of the Sallie House remains unsolved.